Good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome to Mildenhall and Districts. And today I've just got a very quick update for you on the corner section over at Mildenhall, because I've done a huge amount of work over at Broadden Gardens, but that's going to be on another video. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what's been going on at Mildenhall corner section. So, toodaloo. So this is the corner filler for Mildenhall Station, and since you last seen it, it's virtually complete. I need to get one of the buildings put up from the sheet to go on here to marry up with the building over at the Mildenhall Station, which is the station hotel. As you can see, I've added this fence here. I've added some railings along the back, and that is also some railings along the back there. I've also added some vegetation. I've added some road signs. There's one here as well. I've also painted the road and put some road markings down, some repairs, and I've also added some matchsticks to the road. So here you can see just one of the signage to say that you're entering into a 30-mile-an-hour zone and that there's speed cameras enforced. So that's one of the road signs that I've done. I need to paint the posts in aluminium just to give it a metal effect. That's one of the small jobs I've got left to do. Over here, we've got a national speed limit applies sign. So as you're going out of town, the roads will open out, so you'll be able to go faster. And I've also got just a road sign depicting the various destinations on that road sign. All of these road signs I got from Sankey Scenics. This was part of a sheet that came with the Hornby magazine some years ago, and I've always kept it just in case I needed it. And as it turns out, there's a few bits on there that I could do with this little mini project, so that's worked out really well. I've sort of created my own little girder bridge here, and I've also weathered it up and toned it down. I've also added the capping on that side and all the way along here, because that was missing. So, and then I blended it in with the rest of the capping that was on the Metcalfe side of things. Also, one of the pillars, I think it's the second one here. I think it was this pillar here. Now, one of them, either this one or the other one. The top was missing, so I had to recreate another one of those. So over here, it's a bit of a pulled out view. You can see the matchsticks. There's 1, 2 and 3 matchsticks going on. And some of you may be asking, why have you put matchsticks on the road? It's a little trick that some of you may or may not know. And this is basically to put the vehicles on the ramp to stop them from sliding down. So if I just put this down, you'll see that the van will just roll down the hill. But if you put it on the matchstick actually stops it from rolling down the hill. Just see it just goes down. So if you put it on the matchstick, it'll just stop. And then the thing is, you don't have to glue the vehicles in. You could just rest them on the matchsticks, and the matchsticks will just stop them from rolling down the hill. And then the other thing is you can adjust it, so you can put it on the front axle, or I could put it on the back axle and make it seem like it's going further forward. The same with the bus. You could do the same with the bus. Bus is just down there, and that's strong enough to take the bus. And you can either have, I've got a coach here. The coach is the same. You can do that. Just rest it on the axle. If you want to make the coach seem like it's going further up the hill, you can put it on its rear axle, so it's going up the hill. And then you just lift it off, and then you've got an Arctic lorry here, and you've got lots of choices with the Arctic lorry because there's so many axles on here. So you can put it right to the top if you want, and let it rest on its rear axle, and make it go really like it's right up the hill. So you can have that, and maybe you can put the coach behind it, so it's a busy road. I'll just show you that. So you can do that. Or if you want, you can lift the Arctic and then you can just make it like it's further down the hill, which is like that. So it all depends on you, but you've got these options as to what you can do with the matchstick. So the matchsticks basically act as a bit of a brake, and it stops the vehicles rolling down the hill, and it kind of looks like there's actually vehicles on the hill, and they're not just rolling down it. So those are your options. You can do things like that. So it's a nice little trick there. You don't have to glue anything down to stop it from rolling, and then you can change your vehicles as and when you wish. So you're not restricted to just gluing them in and then you just got to leave it, and then when you remove it you might damage the surface of the road. So you can just swap them out, put a different bus on, put a different lorry on, put a different car on, whatever you want to do. And like I said, you can put as many matchsticks as you want. So if you want to create a busy scene, you can put more matchsticks on to make it seem like cars are in traffic, or you can just space them out so you've got some more options. So this is the corner section in place now with its new building. I've ended up going with this building in the end, not necessarily through choice. Unfortunately, I managed to muck up one of the buildings that I was going to use for here, and it got damaged. And then I put on a new set of buildings, which I've tagged the photograph at the end of this video. And so you can see what the other option was, but I then still wasn't happy with that, and I took that off and I put that and moved that over to Bourdillon Gardens, and I've now replaced that building with this building and a new piece of card, and this is now how it sort of sits in place according with the rest of the town scene. So I think this building still looks very effective. Unfortunately, it's a lesson learnt from my part, which has helped me actually, funnily enough, to do Bourdillon Gardens. In some ways, my misfortune that I've had here with mucking up the other building has kind of helped me over at Bourdillon, and I'll explain it to you when I take you over there in the next video. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and until the next time, it's goodbye from Mildenhall Districts. Bye bye.